Hello and welcome back to our channel. I'm Marla.
I'm Josh.
And we are starting the Fruitful Roots Farm Homestead. In our first video, we wanted to kind of give an introduction of who we are, what kind of our backgrounds are, a little bit of our hopes for the property that we just bought, and you know, kind of how God guided us in that journey. But we wanted to do another video to talk a little bit more about what our actual goals are for this property. We've talked about many different things. Obviously, we want to utilize the land to the best of our ability. Just as kind of a general idea, the layout is, there's about 7 acres of woods on a bluff. And so that one will be, you know, we'll kind of just have that for some grazing, but also just for us to enjoy. It's a really beautiful view right off of the back of the house. When we first got there, when we took possession, the previous owners had left a little swing. And before we really got started on anything, we just kind of went and sat and enjoyed the view and the absolute quiet. It was just stunning. So we'll have that just for our own enjoyment. So that leaves about 12 acres for us to actually utilize, and we want to utilize it to its fullest potential. And we do want to have the homestead for our family to be somewhat self-sufficient. We want you know, to be able to feed our family from it and stuff. But we also do have intentions of running it as a business. You know, like maybe having an Etsy store or something like that to have soaps and candles from, you know, garden herbs, and then like the goat's milk and stuff like that, and then also, you know, farmers markets, and then you know, having livestock.
Yeah, I think we've kind of, like Marla said, it's kind of goals that we have for it, understanding obviously that those may change based on either experiences we have or things that we learn along the way. We kind of have an idea for what we want to do in the livestock realm. Nothing too in depth at the moment. We know we're going to have poultry. I'm not sure what all types as of yet. For sure, some laying hens and stuff like that. Probably some guineas, because this area there are copperheads and other things, and guineas are good for that. As annoying as they may be on the decibel meter, they're still good for that, and as alerts. And then some larger livestock, probably not cattle or horses, maybe donkeys, something like that, 1 or 2. And then some goats and or sheep, possibly both. So yeah, so in the livestock realm, we kind of have an idea, but that'll, I'm sure, evolve as we move forward with stuff.
So another thing that we want to do is have a pretty big sized garden space. I've been kind of practicing with the space that we've had over the past few years. Definitely ready to jump into something bigger, even though I know it's going to be a substantial amount of work. I'm really excited about it. The timing, since it's, you know, kind of towards the end of April now, doesn't really put me in a good position to get that started this year. I can probably get some stuff in the ground for, you know, as a late summer garden or a fall garden. But one of the good things about Texas is it does have a very long growing season, and so I'm sure I'll get something in the ground. But we also have some amending to do to the soil before we can actually grow something kind of on the scale that we're hoping to do. We're going to get a soil sample sent off to tell us what all we do need to get done. So I think that the best thing for us to do is just to prepare for that for next year. I think we're starting off about 1 acre, but going to leave room to expand it as we want. Like I said, we do want to have stuff for, you know, farmers markets and stuff like that, but also I've really enjoyed canning and preserving, and so I want to be able to do that out of our garden as well as just feed ourselves and, you know, neighbors and family, stuff like that. So that's one of the things that we plan on doing.
Yeah, and I think on the goals side, one of the things that one of my first things I was pretty excited about is obviously Marla was excited about having the tank and everything, as was I. The land when we got it, leading up to the time we got it, it was kind of over cattled pretty heavily. So if anyone knows anything about cows, they tend to just get right in the water and do whatever they want to in it, including going to the bathroom. So it can have a lot of organic matter in it. This water in particular is pretty muddy looking, pretty brown. So I have done, I've been doing research on the best ways to approach it. Some people use chemicals. There's other things you can do. That's not really mine and Marla's way. If we can help it, we prefer to go as natural and organic as possible. Just personal preference. So I found a couple of different companies. I'm going to do a little more research, find the best one, and I'm sure we'll put a video up about it. The best approach seems to be bacteria and enzymes that you can use. Different companies produce it to treat the water stack, which would be the actual tank itself. The bacteria attack the organic matter in the water, helping clarify it. The enzymes dissolve the bacteria's waste, and then it kind of just evaporates out. That would be for the actual water itself, to clarify the water. Then you can do muck treatments. So with a lot of organic matter at the bottom of your tank, if you ever walked out into a lake or a pond, or even your own tank, if you have and it hasn't been treated, you'll notice that you'll have just basically sludge that you can step in, and it's just sticky, and you sink real deep. Beneath that is usually the actual soil, but that muck, as they call it, that organic matter that settles, there's other treatments you can do, bacteria and enzymes as well, that will actually devour and eat all that, convert it into just like CO2 and other types of gases released, and that helps clarify the water a lot too. So do a little more research, find what seems to be one of the best treatments, and then I'll share that as well, but that's something that we're going to approach as well. Remediating the tank, making it nice and pretty and clean. So
getting some fish.
Yeah.
We know there's a few fish in it.
And turtles.
Lots of turtles. We don't know size or
type
yet, but hoping to find that out soon with a little bit of fishing.
Yeah.
I would personally love to have a pier built. That's in the future though. That's definitely not a priority, but I just think it'd be really cool.
That's something we can easily do. Well, easily. It's something we can do. I think another thing, obviously, we've talked about the house. There's going to be videos about that. Some of the updates / cosmetic stuff we're going to do, since we're going to be in it temporarily. So there'll be stuff on that. We kind of have an idea of what all we want to do to it. It's mostly cosmetic, interior, exterior stuff. Stuff in the kitchen, paint, simple things like that, interior and exterior. And then in the future, we don't know how far yet, hopefully sooner rather than later, but there's a lot of stuff that it depends on, including building costs and other factors. We would like to decide on what exactly we want as our permanent structure and get that built at some point. And that'll kind of be decide on the location, exact layout, and what we want, and get that on the land at some point in time, our forever home.
We've talked about a couple of things. We talked about barn dominiums, and our insurance guy really liked that idea. And but then we're living in an old neighborhood right now, and we see a lot of these like craftsman style homes, and there's definitely appeals. And we both really like that style, and so there's an appeal to that too. So, just
I think either way, we both decided we would like pretty big wraparound porches.
That's what I've always wanted in my entire life, is a big wraparound porch. So, yes, that's definitely on the list.
Watch the sunrise and the sunset.
Yeah. So, but the thing is, we have time, and this gives us the opportunity to kind of get out there and just get to know our land, before we decide exactly where we're going to go. I think that at first in my mind, I was like, I want it to be kind of close to where the house is now, because it backs up to the woods, which is beautiful. And then the more I think about it, there's a lot of reasons to not put it there. Just because it does tend to, there's a lot of, every time it's rained, it's kind of on an incline or decline, I guess. So it kind of washes some stuff out of the yard. And also, I'm not scared of the snakes, but I want to be wise as to where they normally are and where our kids are going to be playing. So I think maybe just a little bit away from that, but we could still, build a little deck kind of there and go enjoy the view. But, this gives us the opportunity to to figure that out. We have time. You know, there's not a rush. We have a
Right.
perfectly great place to live at the moment. So
Yeah, agreed.
all the fun stuff of
Yeah.
just moving and painting and
Yeah.
more painting and
Yep.
you know, getting to, there's always something. I remember when we got our first house, you know, it looks so great on the outside, and then the second you move in, there's like 5 things that you've got to fix. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm fully
Joys
expecting
of home
that.
ownership.
Yeah. But I'm excited about it.
Yeah, it's gonna be awesome. I'm excited too. It's gonna be fun.
So yeah, but that's kind of where we are right now. And like I said in the last video, but I definitely want to emphasize again, we might have a little bit of space between these videos as we complete tasks and projects. And, you know, it does take time and money to figure out what's going to go where, building, you know, the chicken coop and stuff like that. So probably have some updates on like Instagram and stuff like day to day. But the videos, I have no promise as to the timeline. Just whenever I can, when a project gets completed and we can get it up. So, but yeah. And again, as new YouTubers, any support is appreciated with subscribing, liking, sharing, all that fun stuff. But I think that's...
Yeah, I think that's about it for now. There'll be other stuff coming soon. Don't worry.
we got plenty of things in the works, so. But
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, well, thanks for tuning in.
Yeah, and we'll see y'all later.
All
God
right,
bless.
bye.